A lot of people have criticized the 80s 80s music as being processed and vapid, all based on technology like the drum machine, rendering the music without emotion. And I kind of see that point. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I know a lot of people had complained about it back in the day, back in the 80s, 30 years ago. Well, not this song. This song is a message record, debuting at number 44. A message record that I think is worthy of some of the protest songs that back in the 60s, like The Time Has Come Today by the Chamber Brothers. Talk about living color, bringing back some of that old school protest or old school messaging back into rock and roll back in the late 80s. Living Color with Cult of Personality. Cool dudes, man. I thought these dudes were so cool. Because here's the thing about Living Color. They brought together, or just call it a shotgun marriage, of hip-hop, country, alternative, hard rock, funk into their music. They didn't just draw from one genre. They drew from a whole bunch of genres. These guys were very versatile, and their album Vivid just blew up in 1988. Cult of Personality debuting at number 44 on my fantasy playlist on March 18th, 1989. And they formed back in New York City. Living Color formed back in New York City back in 1984. The album Vivid was produced by a guy named Ed Stasium, co-produced by a guy named Ed Stasium. He produced this record, Cult of Personality. And he's worked with new wave punk acts like the Ramones, Talking Heads, and another group he worked with was the Smithereens. Boy, remember the Smithereens back in the late 80s and early 90s, was really into their music back in the day. Also co-produced by Mick Jagger. I don't know what role he played in producing the album, but he is listed among the credits as far as the album production is concerned. This record was written Cult of Personality was written. I'm trying to get it out properly. Written during rehearsal, during one rehearsal session. Here's what happened: the guys were playing around with another record. They're playing another song or just playing around, and they stumbled upon this riff, this killer riff. And in one session, they built the song around that riff. By the end of that recording session or rehearsal, they came up with their biggest hit, Cult of Personality. Went to number 13 on Billboard's Hot 100. And it debuts at number 44 on my fantasy playlist of March the 18th, 1989.